Hello, Dancing with the Stars fans. I'm Gold Derby Senior Editor Daniel Montgomery here with Jeffrey Kare, our usual panelist. Cordell Martin could not join us this week, so it'll just be the two of us. We are going to talk about the most recent episode, which was Monster Night, and then we're going to preview Music Video Night on Dancing with the Stars coming up. Starting with Monster Night, we got the elimination of who was eliminated? I forgot.
Mauricio.
Mauricio Umansky. Um, I come prepared. That seems like it had been like a few weeks in coming. Like he was in the bottom two in the season premiere episode, so way back when, like he had trouble connecting with fans. And this week he had another good dance, one of his better dances. And just like Mira Sorvino, he ended up paying the price for it. Unfortunately, he was sixth on the leaderboard. He was ahead of three other people, but he was eliminated. What did you think about his dance and his elimination, Jeffrey?
Well, I thought his dance for it was decent, but yeah, I'm not too surprised nor sad to see him go. I mean, his days in the competition were numbered, and even though again he's gotten a little better, but he's still pretty much been getting lost in the shuffle among the better dancers in the show this season.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've got Harry Jowsey, who once again bottom of the leaderboard. This week's show, he in his clip package talked about how people online have not been the kindest to him, saying that like, oh, Riley's just dancing around him, and I'm like thinking, oh, is he listening to us? Because we've said things like that. Harry, hi, if you're watching this. Don't watch this though, because and Riley, if you see a phone in his hands, slap it out of his hand. Never listen to the critics. Even I'm the critic now, and I'm saying don't listen to the critics while you're doing the thing. I never.
Yeah.
I never read the comments. I'm never going to read the comments under this. So, I know from experience. What did you think about him this week? And his clip package and him being safe yet again?
Well, okay, first let me say, Harry, if you do happen to be watching or listening to this, which you probably shouldn't, but in case you are, we mean no disrespect to you at all. Yeah, I'm sure you seem like a nice guy, but anyway, yeah, I do think, well, in his routine, well, not one of the better dances of the night, still one of the weaker ones, but hey, I thought at least showed how much he wants to get better, so I guess A for effort in that area.
Yeah, I appreciate someone for trying. I often think about how I would do if I were on Dancing with the Stars. I'm just not quite famous enough. Like, the show's like doesn't have necessarily A-listers, but like I'm on like the QRS tier of people on the internet. I have tens of followers on social media, so I'm clearly an influencer. But he wasn't the only one near the bottom. Alison Hannigan also had a low score. Barry Williams had a lower score than Mauricio. They all seem to have the fan bases, and I'm going to admit that I do vote for Alison Hannigan no matter what she does on the dance floor, because again, I'm obligated to her as an OG fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And this week she was a vampire, so that's even better. What did you think about Alison Hannigan this week?
Oh, I thought it was absolutely killer. I mean, the costumes were killer, the lighting, the moves. I mean, I just thought everything really came together. And now I don't know if how much longer she has in the competition, but hey, at least do best you can while it lasts.
Yeah, and the poor girl has been like in the bottom, like since they've been doing the not necessarily bottom three. She has been one of those last couples who thought she might go home, who, three times now. It's like, if she's not going home, give her like 1 week where they just say, okay, you're just safe. Instead
Oh
of,
yeah,
leaving
please
her
let
in
that be
suspense.
this next week.
Yes, please. You know, when you know, because she needs a break. So I'm worried that she's a little bit on borrowed time. I don't know how strong her fan base is compared to Harry, compared to Barry. But as more people get eliminated from the competition, you know, the harder it's going to be for a fan base, even a robust fan base, to keep you alive. Um, Now, needing no help to stay alive at this point, Sochi Gomez had the highest scoring individual routine of the night, and she ended up winning the dance marathon. So, starting with her routine, what did you think about her performance, her individual routine?
Oh, I thought it was absolutely hands down one of the best performances of the night. I mean, imaginative production values, mind-blowing performance. I mean, I still think she could really go all the way and win. I mean, if not, she'll at least make it to the finals. But yeah, she continues to impress week by week.
Yeah, and she had a little mishap where she's like I'm not exactly sure where or when it happened, but she was carried to the judges' podium by her partner Val, and she was carried up the stairs by Val. Something to her leg or foot or ankle or got hurt, and she was very much a trooper through it. And she did the dance marathon after that, so she seemed to be okay. But let's, I wonder if we're going to get some explanation of what was going on there in next week's clip package. But I hope she's all right, and I hope she continues. The worst thing is for someone as good as she is to end up being sidelined or disadvantaged, by injury. What did you think of that potential for, you know, that scare of her getting hurt?
Oh man, well, I too hope she's okay, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. But yeah, if it is, well, man, I have no idea what the hell is gonna happen regarding next week. But hey, hopefully she recovers in time if it's not too serious.
Yeah, and next week we have music video night, and we've got the dances that will be performed on music video night. Now there are going to be everyone's going to have two dances because there's going to be the individual dances, and then they're going to get together for the team dances. No surprise because we're in the top eight. And let's go through them one by one. We've got. Scrolling through this list, Allison Hannigan and Pro Sasha Farber will perform a quick step to Candyman by Christina Aguilera. I'm a little bit nervous for her on a quick step. It's a fast dance. She has issues with just kind of technique. It's not necessarily the cleanest routines, although I think she's getting better at like hitting the steps. I thought her paso doble was much better than I was afraid it might be because it's such an intense dance. What do you think about her doing a quick step?
Well, it's definitely gonna be risky, but well, hey, I mean, I don't know how she could possibly do with it, but as she's slowly coming to her own, well, it has my curiosity, and well, we'll see if she can nail something like this.
Yeah, and then you've got Sochi Gomez and Val Chmerkovsky. They will perform a jazz routine. Now, jazz is going to be the big dance style of the night. We've got four of them. So Sochi has the first one, or at least the first one on this list. To Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani. I'm not worried about her. It's jazz is going to fit right into her personality and her ability to act out a scene. It's gonna be Broadway caliber. I think it's another possible high score of the night. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I agree. And with such an energetic song like that, I think she should no doubt, slouch in the energy. No, I think she'll really bring it, obviously, because well, hey, it's no surprise how much she's really killing it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hard for Arna Maddox, who did match her this week in terms of her scores for her Argentine tango this week. It's going to be hard for her to challenge, but she and pro partner Pasha Pashkov will perform a cha-cha to I'm a Slave for You by Britney Spears. I'm wondering if, when, or how a snake will become involved in that routine. Um, uh, or how you fit that into a cha-cha. I'm looking forward to it. Please try. Or maybe Pasha will be dressed as a snake. But it's not Monster Night again, so maybe not. What do you think?
Okay. First off, I should wonder, if Jamie Lynn Spears was still in the competition, if she'd be dancing to one of her own sister's songs. But anyway, I think, yeah, it should be interesting to see what Ariana will do. I mean, again, she's certainly one of the top tier contestants this season, and again, it's another one that has my curiosity, and well, for not only her moves, but I guess also the production values as well.
And then we've got Lele Pons and Brandon Armstrong. They'll perform Salsa to Whenever, Wherever by Shakira. I feel like that's such a natural style for her. To get into. It might not have the required technique, the very, very rigorous technique that she's been dinged on when she's, her movements are wild and her movements are unfinished, Kare has said. Here, I feel like there's more freedom for her to go a little bit wild. But I also do worry that even then it could go past where she needs to with the judges. I don't think she's as wild as the judges have said, but for her to avoid those comments in the future. What do you think of her doing a salsa?
Well, salsa is always going to be, a unique kind of dance, and I'm certainly interested in seeing how she'll do with something like that, especially to a song like that. So, hey, I mean, I'm sure she'll do something that's at least interesting and somewhat entertaining.
Then we've got Charity Lawson and Artem Chigvintsev, another jazz routine. They'll be dancing to All For You by Janet Jackson. Now, her, I'm a little nervous for on a jazz routine because she is the contestant this season who the judges have been wanting to see a little bit more lively, a little bit more engaged with the music, and giving more of a performance to the crowd. She's been fairly reserved, and jazz is going to require her to get out of her shell in a bigger way. So this is both a challenge for her, I think, and an opportunity to really grow in a way that the judges want to see. What do you think?
I echo everything you just said. Yeah, I think, Charity, again, another one of the top tier contestants this season, doing, a jazz to Janet Jackson song. Well, there should be something to look forward to, seeing what she's going to do with it and how she's going to bring it. So again, yeah, as I know it's kind of, cliche at this point to say, I'm always looking forward to seeing what she's going to bring in week by week.
And then you've got Jason Mraz and Daniela Karagach. They will perform yet another jazz routine to Take On Me by Aha. Classic song, classic music video. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of translate that to a routine, because so much of that video was visual, black and white, animation, playing with that. So, but I feel like Jason Mraz, like Sochi, has no problems with the character of the dance, with capturing the emotion of it. He's very in character, as we saw on Monster Night. He was in character the whole night, doing that stare all night. I loved it. I loved it. Jason, whatever character you're in, stay in character. It's killer. But what do you think about him performing jazz to Take On Me?
Well, hey, this seems like an interesting choice for him, and Jason, I second what Daniel just suggested. Stay in character all night long, week for as long as you're in the competition, because they should make for some interesting memes. But anyway, yeah, and again, I think this should definitely be one to watch for.
And then we've got Harry Jowsey and Riley Arnold. They will perform the fourth jazz routine to It's Gonna Be Me by NSYNC. Now, I'm really worried about Harry doing a jazz routine. I think because he is so used to doing lifts and tricks because of his size and his strength. There's gonna be some side by sides. He's gonna have to stand alone. He's not gonna be able to rely on Riley very as much. He's gonna have to really distinguish himself on the dance floor. And It's Gonna Be Me, NSYNC. So as boy bands go, they are so known for dance, especially that the comparisons are going to be difficult. I think this I mean, prove me wrong, Harry, but I'm worried. I am genuinely worried about this one. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, Harry, if you do stumble across this slugfest, I wish you all the best of luck with this. But I mean, yeah, I think this is definitely going to be tricky to, live up to, the standards of, the dance moves NSYNC accomplished in their heyday. But, I hopefully, you continue to try your best to get better. Now, whether or not you actually do so is a different story. But hey, again, I wish you luck, Harry.
Yeah. And then rounding out the top 8 is Barry Williams and Peter Murgatroyd. They will perform a quick step to I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Another one, not going to have trouble with the character of the dance. He's incredibly charismatic on the dance floor. Normally a contestant of his age, I'd be very nervous on one of the faster paced dances like a quick step, but he has proven that he's up to it. Like he can nail actual difficult choreography. And so I'm fairly excited. I'm cautiously optimistic about him performing a quick step. And Elton John, I'm Still Standing. It's going to be like a raucous, just show-stopping kind of performance that he needs to rise up to that Elton John level. But I think he's capable of that. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I think there's a lot of potential here. And even though I do have a feeling that Barry's time in ballroom might be coming to a close within the next few weeks, but I do think, he should definitely really bring it with his moves to such a dance style, as well as a great song. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way this competition is shaping up. I feel like there's a clear top 4. Who have been at the top of the leaderboard in some order or another every week. Charity, Jason Mraz, Ariana, and Sochi. And so the other 4, it's kind of like wide open for that 5th place spot, or unless we have a surprise elimination, which of course on this show is always possible. We get one of those top 4 couples ending up getting their ticket punched back home. So like Barry Williams, I feel like I could see him going home next week, or I could see him going to the top 5 potentially. It's very hard to tell with fan bases, especially when they don't reveal the bottom 2.
Yeah.
Just tell us who the bottom 2 are, man.
Yes, please.
And then there will be the team dances. And it does look like they have been separated by age because you've got team For Everybody. They'll be dancing to Everybody Backstreet's Back by the Backstreet Boys. This, I believe, is all of the older contestants. And the older contestants includes one who was born in 1985. So she's younger than me, which makes me feel old and ancient. But that's Allison Hannigan, Jason Mraz, Ariana Maddox, who is the 38-year-old, and Barry Williams. What do you think about having that group together do a dance? I feel like whenever they have like a team of underdogs, as this might be, since Barry and Allison are like 2 of the lower scoring celebrities, even though you've got 2 of the higher scoring celebrities on there too. So maybe they're not the underdogs. What do you think? Do you think they have an advantage, or are they in trouble?
Well, it should be interesting to see how everyone's skills comes together for this. I mean, again, you got two of the topper tier, Jason and Ariana, and two of the, I guess, more middle tier, Barry and Allison, who do have, their moments, have had their moments in the show. So I guess it should be interesting to see what they put together, especially to quite an energetic song like that.
And then you've got Team Youngin Style. So yes, the youngsters. Gangnam Style by Psy is going to be their song. You've got Harry Jowsey, Lele Pons, Sochi Gomez, and Charity Lawson. Now these are the itty bitty bitty children, except for Harry. He's a very large itty bitty child. What do you think about this team? And again, like this team, other than Harry, this is a fairly evenly matched team in terms of skill quality. Like Lele hasn't gotten the scores that Sochi and Charity have gotten, but I feel like she can hold her own with them. Harry, I'm not so sure. It's going to depend on what they have him doing in the dance. It needs to be something that complements him and something that he can also, match the other dancers in the routine. Because it's going to be him and three male pros. So he's going to be compared to them, not just the male celebrities who are left in the competition. What do you think about that team?
Well, I mean, it should be, just as Riley has kept up staging Harry, it should be interesting to see if everyone else will do so too. But I mean, look, you got Zochi and Charity, so that's a plus. And seeing how their styles, along with Harry and Lele's, come together, well, again, it should be interesting, and especially to a song like that. But I mean, I can see a world where probably Youngin style wins over everybody, but I mean, again, that's just a guess. I mean, we'll see. Maybe everybody will surprise. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I can see like the judges really kind of going out of their way to credit Harry, like, oh, you really held your own against these male pros that are on his team, because he's the only male celeb. So like I can see them wanting to give him that moment. Like if he does something like if he drops Riley or something like that, then he won't have that. But don't drop Riley. Um, that'll be interesting. I'm just realizing now we actually didn't talk about the dance marathon from this week's show. I'm not sure how much there is to say. I feel like it's sort of random how the judges picked the couple. Sochi ended up winning that. I think she was a deserving winner because she's one of the best dancers in the competition. But what did you think about the dance marathon?
Well, I'm pretty much gonna say exactly what I said during the Gold Derby's live blog during the show, which is it was clearly just there because they had extra time to kill before elimination. So hopefully this, I guess, separate group dance offs will be more useful.
Yeah, I like the team dances better because they're actual routines you get to see. You're not trying to track different couples across the dance floor at the same time and just tapping them out for seemingly random reasons when you've got time to kill. If you got the top nine and you've got to fill 2 hours, I say do something else. I think they've done dance face offs in previous seasons where the high scoring celebrity is exempt, and then they have the other eight kind of go head to head against each other for extra points. That I like better because at least then you're only watching two couples at once and you're sort of comparing apples to apples instead of everybody in a jumble. Uh, that's not as fun. This will be more fun next week's team dances. So who are you currently predicting to win the season after these first 6 weeks of competition? I've got Sochi still. Do you still have Sochi?
Oh yes, I have her out front, although I do have Jason Mraz in second, if you're wondering. And yeah, followed by Charity in third, and fourth Ariana. And I guess as a kind of a placeholder for fifth place, I do have Lele, but that could obviously change.
Yeah, I have the exact same top four in that order. I have Sochi to win, Jason second, Charity in third, although I could move Charity up depending, and Ariana in fourth. That fifth spot is a real wild card because like last week I put Harry in there thinking he's got the fan base, he'll last that long. This week I think I put Barry in there. It's like he has the fan base, he'll last that long. I'm really worried that we're gonna see like a surprise Lele elimination earlier than she should go, because she's got like a bajillion social media followers, but like who knows like how much that translates to Dancing with the Stars. We've seen it work out for Charlie D'Amelio. Her fan base certainly carried over to Dancing with the Stars and helped her win. But having that online fan base doesn't always guarantee they're gonna watch you on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will see what happens then. And I want to thank you, Jeffrey, for joining me this week as usual. We will see our colleague Cordell next week, hopefully. And thank you everyone for watching and for following along with our coverage of Dance with the Stars at goldderby.com. With that, we will see you next week.